Dreams. What are they? We have all had dreams in our sleep. What are these visions? Have you ever stopped to think about it? Sleep is important to humans, especially teens. Look at the chart. Teens with more sleep are more focused during the day. The reason for this is something called rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. As you can see, there are stages with different levels of brain activity. The eyes move rapidly in different directions. The muscles in the body are paralyzed. This stage of sleep is when all dreaming occurs. REM sleep occurs in all mammals, which means even dogs and cats have dreams. Signals are sent through the brain to the cerebral cortex, which is the part used for learning. Every night, a person experiences 4 non-REM sleep periods and 4 to 5 REM sleep stages. Younger people have longer REM stages than older people. REM sleep takes up 75% of time asleep. Brain waves become larger and slower, until REM sleep occurs, when they reverse. This pattern happens approximately once every 90 minutes. As you can see, the brain is far more active during REM sleep. The state of the brain is much like that during wakefulness. This graph shows brain waves during on period of REM. The brain's awake state may be some clue towards why our dreams are so chaotic and random. Our thoughts are most likely being relayed through the dream. Have you ever had a dream that you could barely remember when you woke, but then another that was still clear in your mind? This is because dreaming occurs during REM sleep. If you are woken during REM sleep, you may find that you remember the dream clearly. Dreams vary in length, though they usually last about 2 hours. When you think about them, they may seem to only last a few minutes. There are several types of dreams. There can be nightmares, released dreams, message dreams, and many others. They usually relate to emotions or recent events. Nightmares are dreams that cause fear or anxiety. They can be caused by sickness, loss, or reaction to medication. It may be about death, falling, or a monster as you see here. Released dreams are dreams where the individual releases stress and emotion. Message dreams are dreams with meanings and symbols hidden within them. These may seem more chaotic. You may have had a daydream at some point, and realize that they are similar to dreams, but they are very different. While dreams are usually random thoughts, daydreams are more controlled. A simple definition of a daydream is a string of connected and controlled thoughts. The individual appears to stare into space. Only a loud noise may wake them from this state. A study has shown that the part of the brain used in daydreaming is the same part that fails in people with Alzheimer's disease. Daydreams can be used to remember forgotten facts. A recent study by a professor of psychiatry, called the tidal wave dream, focuses on subjects of our dreams. 880 dreams were recorded by people near the events of 9/11. Most of the dreams had a strong central image, most often a tidal wave. The wave may occur in other people who have experienced a recent trauma such as a fire or attack. Here are some examples of these types of dreams containing a strong central image. These dreams occurred after traumatic events.
I'm walking along the beach with another woman, I think. I don't see her too clearly. When all of a sudden a huge tidal wave, 30 feet tall, comes and sweeps us away. I struggle to breathe, try to get to the surface. It's all swirling white and blue water with debris pieces of wood mostly floating by. I'm not sure I make it to the surface.
I was on a hilltop watching a whirlwind or tornado in the distance. Suddenly it was right on top of me. I found myself lifted up and carried away. I was terrified.
I am seeing outlines of things. Then I see what appears as an eye. The eye winks and the surroundings jumble around and turn to mist. There seems to be a pit with levels of ledges. That is the only way to go, but I don't go down there. I stay my ground and wait, but nothing happens till I look up and try to reach a light and then turn around and get comforted by the warm darkness that surrounds this place.
All of the dreams that you have just heard came from people who recently experienced a traumatic event. The study showed that dreams occurring after a recent trauma usually contain a strong central image, such as the wave, the tornado, and the eye. Another study, called the Dreamer's Manifesto, has several key points that summarize several years of research about dreams. The following are a few of these points.
Material in the mind is brought together and connected more readily in dreaming than in focused waking thought. This means that a person is more able to put together their thoughts during dreaming than in wakefulness. The mental connections made in dreaming are guided by the dreamer's emotions. The dream, especially the dream's central image, pictures the dominant emotion, and the intensity of that image corresponds to the strength of the emotion. This means that the pictures you see relate directly to your dominant emotion, and the intensity corresponds with that particular emotion's strength. The adaptive function of dreaming occurs whether or not a dream is remembered. But if we do remember our dreams, they can be extremely useful in making life decisions, producing works of science and art, and furthering our self-knowledge. This means that if we remember our dreams or not, they may help us to make important decisions that relate to the dream.
What you have just heard are a few of the points made in this article. Now here are some points made in the article titled The Brain's Continuum.
The brain's dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, or DLPFC, is the part of the brain used in focused thought and planning, but this part is inactive during dreaming and REM sleep. People with brain damage in the DLPFC area are unaffected during dreaming. However, some people with more extensive brain damage cannot dream altogether. Norepinephrine, a chemical that shuts parts of the brain down at some points, is very low during REM. This may explain why dreams sometimes put together unrelated material. The brain's activeness becomes wider-ranged as we slowly move from waking thought to REM and eventually dreaming.
As you have just learned in the past couple of minutes, dreaming has much more to it than one may have guessed. Let's review. That concludes our video. I'm Daniel, and this has been Dreams. What are they? Thank you for watching. Bye.
Makading ding, makading ding, makading ding, makading ding, makading ding, makading ding, dog 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 dog, makading ding, makading ding, makading ding, makading ding, makading ding, makading ding.